So a 200 days plan for for example for leaders is very different from 200 days plan for a manager, and a 200 days plan for an administrator is again very different. So I've worked in digital marketing tools. I have worked in terms of creating the right kind of a message and then hosting it in various platforms. As a company, we have successfully published a lot of blogs. Now, credibility is the single most important attribute of a great marketing content. Effective content, like I said, a job description is a sales and a marketing tool. Similarly, any message or any kind of a messaging, if it's federal, it's provincial, has to be a good marketing tool which should get potential buyers, and it could see the content as credible. They won't give you credit for relevance or value. Here are two ways to increase the credibility of your content. So, in the 2017 B2B Buyers Survey by Demand Gen report, business buyers were asked why they selected the winning vendor over the others, and 75% of the customers actually said that they selected somebody because they had that particular partner or the company had a significant impact on them. And if you actually if you try to equate that in some way, any if for any 200-day plan to become great, it has to have a significant impact. So the plan that should be there from now onwards for the next 200 days should be very credible, and it should have a significant impact. So for example, the in the public affairs teams, you have various platforms that are there. And for example, there is Canada is working with a lot of other countries, and they are focusing on upholding the rights of democratic institutions, social justice, real action to address the climate crisis, more money for middle class families, stronger gun control. And they're looking at building a strong middle class, investing in good middle class jobs, and protecting the environment and moving the economy forward. So if protection of the environment and economy has to be moved forward, it is a lot of things that needs to be done. So the first 200 days plan for somebody who is working in like a brand ambassador role has to be about protecting the economy and the environment, so that they could just bring social justice. They could share their kind of views. They could actually talk in terms of a lot of things that's going on to protect the environment around. So for example, I did talk about electric cars, and the way electric cars are getting charged, and that's the reason today I think the Tesla cars are now for $75,000. I don't know what the price is, but Tesla cars are really expensive, but they actually are working on they meet some environmental criteria. Obviously, you have other cars also and other automotives that are good, because they help in transportation, and they are important, and especially in extreme weather conditions, it's always good to be safe and be able to travel in a transport that is good, and it can help transfer people from one end to the other. Also, because there are extreme flood conditions that happen, it is good that in the first 200 days, if there is a leader who's traveling, their sort of plan has to be such that it needs to address all the environmental concerns that are there. And even when it comes to transportation, it needs to be taking care of any sudden like winter temperature change, snowfall, or other areas that are there. And that is exactly something that needs to be done in terms of the first 200 days. So it is irrespective of what is the nationality, what is the ethnicity of a community, it is really important to kind of look at the environmental concerns. And basically, if there is somebody who is probably in the first 200 days they have to kind of be adaptive, they need to be collaborative, they need to have computer literacy, they need to look at a cross cultural competency, they need to be multilingual, so they have to have foreign language fluency, interpersonal skills, leadership, media literacy, mediation, multitasking, program planning, public speaking, quick learning and teaching, and then time management. So all these aspects are there. So it has to be around time management, quick learning, and collaboration, and being able to sort of travel in extreme weather conditions as well. So that is something which is basically a 200-day plan that can be created, and that's the kind of 200-day plan that would actually depend in terms of what the larger goals of a places, and also in terms of what are the kind of performance indicators that one is obviously looking at. So for example, I work in the web area, so I'm an administrator, and I basically look at what are the kind of files that I need to share, and I'm very clear and very specific that when I'm sharing those files, I don't share files with everyone. When I'm sharing something on social media, I share the exact credible content which has to be shared to the sender. So not to everyone, but just the person who has that link, and it has to be very specific. When I was talking to Apple online store, I realized that even they have an Apple business department, they have an Apple sales department, they have an Apple news department, and the Apple news. So if you actually so if I have to upload a photograph, I make sure that my photograph on the web is not blurred, it is not sensitive, and there are not various levels of mood changes that happen when I'm uploading on my internal website or my external website. And I make sure the quality of my picture is good, the quality of the movie that I've created is great, or the quality of work I have done is credible. So similarly, suppose so that's how it is. So I said that I talked about a government agency, and suppose they are building a plan for middle class. What they do is they actually create entire sort of fiscal plan. They look at what are the kind of middle class jobs that need to be created, and then they basically focus on sharing those middle class jobs with various members in the community. So they help in help Canada's entrepreneurs succeed and grow. Canada's entrepreneurs create jobs in recent years. Their hard work and the hard work of the people who work for them have helped push unemployment to historic lows and given Canada a strong record of economic growth. So if somebody is actually searching this message, this is something that can be found online, it can be found in social media, but the successful Canadian entrepreneurs can be found on various platforms. They are available in person as well, they are available online, and they have made they make it affordable for businesses to move forward. Similarly, if it is building strong communities and creating jobs, infrastructure investment is something which is very important for creating good middle class jobs, and it helps to keep the economy strong and growing. So while there are strong communities and jobs that are being created in the infrastructure area to keep towns and villages safe,